the first two selections they had, Adunze, Caleb Williams, you could look at that and be like two A-plus selections, and those two selections alone give the Chicago Bears the best NFL draft. So I think they were the biggest winner in the NFL draft. But the other selections they had as well, Karan Megaji, tackle from Yale. This guy, 36-inch like arms, 10-inch hands. So the size is great. All the intangibles he has. Played guard in 2021, played 669 snaps, has versatility to play guard and tackle. And in his 3 seasons at Yale, he only gave up 1 sack and 5 quarterback hits. He dominated the Ivy League Conference, and he's a Chicago Bear fan, grew up in Hinsdale, Illinois. Ryan Poles loves to get in talent that, grew up in Chicago, in that Chicagoland area, and that were Bears fans. Something about playing for the hometown team just means more. You've seen it with TJ Edwards. You've seen it with Jack Sanborn. You see it with bringing in Robert Tunyon. Some of the guys we've had, Doug Kramer. So Ryan Poles really enjoys that. So this guy, this tackle from Yale, he could definitely be a starter for the Chicago Bears in 2025. I think this year he's going to be a swing tackle. But, definitely could, challenge Braxton Jones, in practice, a guy that could be developed. You look at Dexter, similar size, great intangibles, great traits, more of a development kind of guy. I think that's what this tackle is going to be for the Chicago Bears. And we've done a great job. Ryan Poles knows offensive lineman. Braxton Jones was a hit. So I trust him with this move. And I think this was a really good selection. Given what, round it was, round 3, I think he was a steal. If he was in a different conference, if this guy's played in maybe, a Power 5 conference, he definitely would have been a first round talent. But round 4, this was a questionable pick. Tory Taylor, punter from Iowa. People didn't like it. I was a little on the fence about it because it was our last pick at the time. And you look at getting a punter in the 4th round, it's questionable. But Ryan Poles made this move because Trenton Gill, one of the worst punters in the league, and Tory Taylor, this man, he was the best weapon for the Iowa Hawkeyes this last season offensively. He put up 1,000 more yards than the Iowa's offense did. So really, field position is a huge thing. We have a great defense, and getting a good punter will help our defense play a lot better, pinning the opponent, in their own 10, right by the end zone, that kind of stuff will improve how the defense will play. So I think this guy could be a weapon. He broke 5 records in the NCAA as a punter last year. So this guy is a punt god. Definitely really like that move the more I looked into it. And then in the 5th round, you trade up to get back in the 5th round, traded a 2025 4th round pick to get Austin Booker, who is a talented edge from Kansas, 8 sacks, 56 tackles. He had pretty good numbers TFL wise. This is a guy talent wise. He shouldn't have been in the 5th round. He should be more of a 3rd round selection, more of another development guy. I don't think he'll be a starter right out the gates. I think he'll be a rotational guy. I think DeMarcus Walker is still going to start at the opposite defensive end position. Maybe we bring Yannick Ngakoue or Carl Lawson in. I think we should. But you look at Eric Washington. He's done a great job developing defensive linemen in Buffalo. AJ Epinesa, the defensive end from Miami. There's been Ed Oliver, the talent they had defensive line wise has been great, and he's done a great part of developing those guys. Eberflus has done the same. You look at all the defensive players we've selected in the draft, they've all been hits. Especially in the secondary. So I think he'll be able to develop this guy and get the talent out of him that we all know he can be. This guy could be a starter and a 6-8 sack kind of guy every year. So I think with that, Eberflus and Washington, they'll be able to get him to reach his ceiling. 36 quarterback pressures this last season. So he had a great season in Kansas. I definitely don't think he should have been in the 5th round. But huge steal, obviously getting Tory Taylor, the punter, in the 4th round. He would much rather have gotten Booker in that selection. But it doesn't matter. You got both of those guys. Both hits. Both guys, I think Tory Taylor will definitely be a starter, but Booker definitely down the road, he'll be able to be at least an impact player right out the gates. So I really like this draft from Ryan Poles. I think this is one of his best drafts since he's been a Chicago Bears GM. And this whole offseason, he has cooked the players he's brought in, the talent he's brought in. And next year, you look at how many draft picks we have in 2025, it's going to be an exciting year. So really like the moves Ryan Poles has made so far. This Bears roster is shaping up. Adunze, Caleb Williams, the tackle from Yale, and then you look at Booker and the punter Torrey Taylor.
He said all the right answers. His PR team, they prepared him pretty well. Says he likes deep dish pizza. Has been doing his homework. Studying over Walter Payton, Michael Jordan.
That boy excited. He geeked. When you watching Mike tape, you geek.
Yes.